first got there, we had been on a flight for 9 hours with Dr. Dotson, and she was telling us, I have a surprise for you guys as soon as we get to France. So we were all just sitting on the plane for 9 hours asking each other, what do you think it is? What do you think she has planned for us? What are we going to do? And so 9 hours later, we get off the flight, and she's like, come on, let's go. And, we're all tired, hair's messy, all that. And we get on the metro, which is also another crazy experience, but we're going through the system, and we finally get to wherever we're going, and we come up, and as soon as, she took us, I can't remember how we got there, but as soon as you go up the steps, the Eiffel Tower was like in our sight, and we were like, oh my god. And it was just so amazing, to be there, and it actually hits you like, oh my god, I'm actually in Paris. I never knew I would be here. You learn about a lot of different countries and how they learn, how their system works. Just going to different schools, it was a learning experience every day being there. Different things like how the kids learn and stuff. I'm from Mexico, so being there, you kind of learn, it's kind of similar in a way, but at the same time different, and it's completely opposite from the American school system as well. It's gonna sound crazy, but I actually like the snails. I had escargots, and I kept craving them, even coming back. I had them like 3 times, I think, while we were there, and my friend tried it once, and she was like, I hate it, it's gross. But I kept eating hers, and then we had it again at the end of the trip, and I was also like, just let me eat them, I'll eat them. And they were super delicious. Even being here the other day, I was like, I really want some escargots. Those were delicious. We studied a lot about immigration, and that is actually a big part of my life because my mom was also an immigrant. So many of the books that we read one that I really loved called Kife Kife. And that one really talked a lot about, experiences as an immigrant, and, being actually able to go to these areas that were in the book. You really do, experience that. We went to this fort. It was beautiful, actually. It was one of my favorite areas to go to. And we learned a lot about, how wars played out and everything. And there was like this stairwell, and it was like spiraling stairwell. And, our tour guide was actually really, really nice. He didn't speak that well English, but, Dr. Dotson taught me 4 years of French, so I kind of picked up on it. And he basically talked about how they fought, and how war played out, and why the fort was the way it was. And we also got to walk around it, so it was really beautiful. Going there, we did talk a lot about, first impressions. My first impression, what we get off of TV is, people in striped shirts, eating baguettes, mimes and stuff like that, but it's totally different. People actually have a culture there. They're really nice, They love it when you speak to them in French. They're really, really sweet. We met this one guy, and he was really helpful. Like, we got locked out of our hotel room once, and he actually helped us call and speak in French, but he was actually really nice. People are really lovely there. They're helpful. They don't mind telling you where everything is. They like explaining stuff. They'll even ask you for a picture. I would say, do have a set number in mind, how much you don't want to spend, how much you do want to spend. Well, it's one of my souvenirs as well. It was a candy shop, and I ended up spending like $100+ there. So, budgeting is really, really important. You do have to have a set mind, I'm going to spend this much, and try not to go over it, because, you're in Paris, you're like, oh, I want to buy this, I want to get that, I want to get this. But, you do have to keep in mind, we do have that stuff here as well, like Eiffel Tower statues and stuff like that. We do have that here, but, you do want to budget, have it in mind, because that's definitely not what I did, and I regret it. My favorite thing is actually this bag I got at a university we went to. I've been studying French since high school, but I've always been uncertain to speak it to people, so I was trying to do my best and speak to the girl at the front desk, and she actually complimented me on it, and she was like, oh my god, you speak such nice French, and she gave me a free bag, and that was one of my favorite memories because it made me so sure of my French, and having this experience, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, she's actually really nice, and complimented me on it. So that's one of my favorite souvenirs. I know it's just a simple bag, but, has great value to me now.